Hello, let's discuss text entry or read-only controls. Introduction. A text entry or read-only control contains text that is exclusively entered or modified through the keyboard. It may also contain entered text being presented for reading or display purposes only. Text boxes. Okay, the description here is a control, usually a rectangular in shape, in which text may be entered or edited. Text may be displayed for read-only purposes. Usually possesses a caption describing the kind of information contained within it. An outline field border is included for enterable or editable text boxes. Is not included for read-only text boxes. Two types exist. Okay, there are two types of text boxes: single line text box and multiple line text box. When first displayed, the box may be blank or contain an initial value. Okay, now let's discuss the purpose of text boxes. To permit the display, entering or editing of textual information, to display read-only information. Advantages of text boxes: very flexible, familiar, consumes little screen space. Disadvantages are requires use of typewriter keyboard, requires user to remember what must be keyed. Proper usage of text boxes, most useful for data that is unlimited in scope, difficult to categorize, of a variety of different lengths. When using selection list is not possible. Two types of text box exist. One consists of rectangular box into which information is typed. It may also be referred to as an edit control. The second is also rectangular in shape but contains text displayed purely for read-only purposes. The former type has historically been referred to as entry field, the latter as an inquiry or display field. While display-only text boxes are not operable in the true sense of the word, the information contained within them is capable of being modified by the controls. Hence, they will be reviewed as an operable control since their characteristics and the characteristics of an entry field are very similar. Some platforms classify both as text boxes. Text boxes almost always possess a separate caption describing the kind of information to be keyed. An enterable text box is usually visually presented on the screen, its shape being defined by an outline border, reversal in screen polarity, a white background, or various combinations of these features. The information in a read-only text field is most effectively displayed on the screen background, not in a box. Therefore, a box doesn't surround the information contained in read-only text boxes. Now let's discuss single line and multiple line text boxes. Single line description is a control consisting of no more than one line of text. Purpose is to make textual entries when the information can be contained within one line of the screen. Typical uses: typing the name of a file to save, typing the path of a file to copy, typing variable data on a form, typing a command also. Multiple line text boxes. The description: a control consisting of multi-line rectangular box for multiple lines of text. Purpose is to type, edit and read passages of text. Typical uses: creating or reading an electronic mail message, displaying and editing text files. Text boxes exist in two forms: single line and multiple line. Single line box is used when the information contained within it can be confined to one screen line. Multiple line boxes are used when the information exceeds a single line. When first displayed, a text box may be blank or contain an initial value. Text boxes are illustrated here. You can see entry, modification, information. This is what the read-only text, and this is what read-only text, and it is editable text. Single line and multiple line. A structure and size. Let's discuss the caption of it. Captions provide a descriptive caption to identify the kind of information to be typed or contained within the text box. Okay, use a mixed case font. Okay, for as a structure of a caption. Display the caption in normal intensity or in a color of moderate brightness. Formatting: single fields. Okay, if there is single field, how to format? Position the field caption to the left of the text box. Place a colon immediately following the caption. Separate the colon from the text box by one space. Here you can see the figure very easily. Alternatively, the caption may be placed above the text box. Place a colon immediately following the caption. Position above the upper left corner of the box, flush with the left edge. Here you can see. Multiple occurrence fields. For entry modification text boxes, position the caption left justified one line above the column of entry field. Okay, if there are multiple occurrences of the fields here like this, there are 3 and the caption is displayed on top of it. Okay, left justified. For display or read only boxes, if the data field is long and fixed length or the display data is about the same length, center the caption above the display text box data like this. If the data displayed is alphanumeric, short or quite variable in length, left justify the caption above the display text box data like this. If the data field is numeric and variable in length, right justify the caption above the displayed text box data. Here you can see if the data field is numeric, okay, you have to do right justification the caption above the display text box data. Okay. Fields structure. Okay, identify entry or modification text boxes with a line border or reverse polarity rectangular box. To visually indicate that it is an enterable field, present the box in a recessed manner. Here you can see this is the proper structure. Present display or read only text boxes on the window background without any borders. Okay, here we see the present. Break up long text boxes through incorporation of slashes, forward slashes, dashes, spaces or other common delimiters. Here you can see the date have been separated by forward slashes. Fields. Size. Okay, let's discuss the size to indicate the approximate length of the field. Text boxes for fixed length data must be large enough to contain the entire entry. Text boxes for variable length data must be large enough to contain the majority of the entries. Where entries may be larger than entry field, scrolling must be provided to permit keying into or viewing the entire field. Employ word wrapping for continuous text in multiple line text boxes. Highlighting. Call attention to text box data through a highlighting technique. Higher intensity. If color is used, choose one that complements the screen background and contrast well with it. Unavailable fields. Gray out temporarily unavailable text boxes. Fonts. Okay. To support multiple fonts, use rich text box. Structure. Let's discuss that. A text box should attract attention but not detract from the legibility of the data contained within it. Be capable of allowing an indication of the structure of the data contained within it and indicate the appropriate number of characters to be keyed into it. An early study found that in meeting these objectives, a broken underscore and an underlined box were the best delimiters for screen entry fields. The older text-based screens traditionally have used underscore as the delimiter. Graphical screens, okay, the outlined box. Interestingly, both resemble the coding areas most frequently found on paper forms. To visually indicate that it is an enterable field, present the box in a recessed manner as is done by Microsoft Windows. Present display or read-only text boxes on the window background. To make text boxes more readable, it is desirable to break them up into logical pieces. Slashes, dashes and spaces should be inserted into the entry fields as illustrated here. Size. The size of a field must give an approximate indication of the data length. Text boxes for fixed length data must be long enough to contain the entry. Variable length text boxes should be large enough to contain the majority of the entries. The size of variable length text box will be dependent on field alignment, space utilization and aesthetics. If a text box is not large enough to key or view the entire entry, it must be scrollable. Scrolling, however, should be avoided whenever possible. Highlighting text box data as opposed to captions is the most important part of a screen. Call attention to it through highlighting techniques. With monochrome screens, display it bright or in high intensity. With color, use the brightest color. If a box is the delimiter, choose a background color that complements the screen body background and provides good contrast with the color chosen for the data. If there is temporary unavailable field. For fields temporarily unavailable for entry, gray out the box and its associated label. This temporary graying out implies, however, that the user can perform some actions that will again make the field enterable. Rich text boxes. Okay. Most text boxes typically support only the standard system font. Microsoft Windows rich text box is similar to a text box but provides in addition font properties such as typefaces, size, color, bold and italics. It also supports character and paragraph alignment, tabs, indents and numbering, as well as point printing. Thank you for watching.